the Giants are 3-1, and I have a lot of mixed feelings about the way that they're performing. One, because I really want them to be in a position to take a quarterback in the draft next year, Will Levis. And whose finger got
Sorry, what was that?
completely turned around the other day. I'm still trying, like, I'm hoping people don't realize how good he is.
He looked some of those throws against Ole Miss.
Shut up.
he got he,
Hey,
he got outdueled by one of the all time quarterback names. The Ole Miss quarterback's name is Jackson Dart.
yeah,
Like what nominative determinism? Like, oh, my name is Jackson Dart, therefore I will become a quarterback.
yes,
or a darts player. It's
it
one of the two.
could have been either way, right? And so although Kenny Pickett is a bit apt given the two picks that he threw against the Jets, right? He threw multiple two interceptions, yeah. Anyway, besides the point. But
Yeah, he had a really bad like tipped pick for Jordan Whitehead, like very close to the end zone, and but he had like a rushing touchdown. Like the Steelers. I won't get into it too much, but the Steelers messed up with how they planned for the season. What I will say.
yeah, yeah. The Steelers, I don't know. Weird vibes coming from them, but we'll get to that in a second. So the Giants would not be where they are without Saquon Barkley, who is having comeback player of the year type numbers and performances. That play where Daniel Jones blocked for him, where he almost got tackled in the backfield and then ran behind, it must have been like 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage to the other side of the field and got a first down. It brought a tear to my eye. And this is as somebody who doesn't necessarily think the Giants should give Saquon Barkley a second contract. And by necessarily, I mean I have been on that, like firmly holding that position for a long period of time. But when you see the way that he moves and the athlete that he is, and the fact that he has this chip on his shoulder this year, it's really hard to not become infatuated with the talent. It's bad business. I know.
But that
But
bad business is a sunk cost already.
that's
It's
the
already
thing.
it's already happened.
That's the
Like
thing.
it's
And
house money at this point that he's even still playing at a relatively high level, in my opinion.
and look, they can't get anything done in the passing game. Kenny Galladay, that contract is just
That
embarrassment.
one's almost as
Thank you
worse.
so much, Dave Gettleman, for what you have provided for us. And look, I was on board with the Kenny Galladay signing, but then when I saw the contract details, I was like, that's a little much, but hopefully it pays off. It has not.
I would say, given how much he's being used, it's comparably bad to Saquon. Maybe not as much money. It's just he's not doing anything.
Well,
He could be play.
he's
He,
washed. He's not the athlete that he once was, and he's not the
no.
type of guy that they want in this scheme because they're all about getting guys in space. That's why they value someone like Wan'Dale Robinson, who hasn't really seen the field yet, but even though he's a really much smaller guy, the Kafka and Dayball have a confidence in their ability to get guys in space, and they don't need somebody who is a possession or who is he doesn't get separation. Daniel Jones's worst pass is the back shoulder ball, which he doesn't seem to be able to do in the end zone. Plus, it's not, I think, the most efficient way to run an offense in the year 2022 to have those be your like 50-50 touchdown
but
plays.
that's the thing. You don't have, especially with Dayball, like you don't have a lot of use for a guy who's kind of going to run like a more like static route.
Yes.
You kind of need someone who's going to like really be basically in motion almost like the entire time on the field and make a move or make it move in space like for like some yak opportunities afterwards. Like it's also just clear that not only does he doesn't have a role, but also I think it's like it's a combination of a bunch of things. He doesn't have a role. He didn't even have a role last year before Dable was there, and he's unhappy. Like he's
Yeah.
clearly not bought into which I understand. I mean, if I'm an NFL player, I'd probably be annoyed too. But
But you
I
got
don't-
your bag. You got your
that's the
bag.
thing is like you got it's not as if you're getting shortchanged. He still is getting the money under his contract. It's just clearly a bad situation. And I think like the chance they get to clip his wings, so to speak, in terms of his like his commitment to the Giants, I think will probably be a good thing mutually for both parties.
I think it'll be over at the end of this year, even if the Giants have to eat some money. But look, I want I'm upset about the way that the running back position is so devalued in the NFL. And I think in the new CBA, there needs to be some kind of provision that ties playing time or snap count to the running back position in terms of pay so that these guys don't get used and churned out in the end. But the reality of the situation is that giving a running back a second contract is not a good investment right now. And so, but Saquon is the kind of guy where it makes it incredibly tantalizing. Now, let me just turn to Daniel Jones really quickly because he's not the quarterback of the future, but I am moved by the heart that he plays with, and he really has played really good football given the circumstances over the past 2 weeks. The Cowboys game, despite it being their one loss of the year, he played really well given what was there to be had. The wide receiving room is terrible, and he was making great throws and decisions on a snap by snap basis. The thing about the Giants, too, is that they're coached well, they play tough, and the defense is so creative right now that you can have a guy like Dexter Lawrence, who's on his 5th-year option, really break out and show his strengths, even at a position that's traditionally devalued as defensive tackle. And then Xavier McKinney is the future star of this defense. And Azeez Ojulari and Thibodeaux have been solid, not superstars. Thibodeaux has not flashed much yet, but we'll see. And so there's a lot of just really young but solid pieces who are, I think, comfortable playing in a variety of different roles, like with McKinney being in the box and basically playing linebacker because the Giants linebacker room might be the worst in the NFL. So I don't think that they're going to win much more this year, but to have this start is really good for the team that they're trying to build.
That's the thing, though, is it's just encouraging to be able to, see that this team is, listen, regardless of the quality of the 3-1, the fact that it's 3-1, it could be 0-4.
Yep.
And I'm not saying because
it probably would be if Saquon wasn't playing.
No, in terms of the dearth of talent on the roster and the amount that is kind of speculative in terms of long-term planning for this team is like this team is essentially like a cocoon.
Mm-hmm.
It is not really. It's a lot of spare parts that are not actually going to be leading to any sort of hole in the future, and that's why I was saying kind of the house money thing, which is that I agree with you. I don't really think, nor do I think they should re-sign or continue to, move forward with the contract for Daniel Jones, nor do I think the same thing with Saquon. But with that being said, to even get any sort of positive results or any positive vibes or, positive feelings from their play this season, it's a much better outcome than could have been anticipated going in.
Yes.
It could have been way worse for both of them so far, even at this early point in the season. So for them to be performing like this, it's also good for them, their prospects as well.
Yeah.
It's also good for them to, get back out there and prove that they are capable starters. And I agree in terms of Jones, he gets a lot of crap, but with the position that he's in, with the level of talent around him, for him to be able to make opportunities for himself and even kind of look serviceable, I think is a testament to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Because there are quarterbacks and there are running backs and there are teams that don't look like that and don't win games like that.
They're a gritty team to use. That's kind of a trope in the NFL, but it's true. It's true for the Giants.